So I just wanted to share a common problem and a little theory and discussion on if it's worth repairing these guys. So anybody who has experience with them and programming them and using them in projects, Arduino projects and such, knows that it's not too hard to burn one of these out. Basically, you send it the wrong data at the wrong time and it's going to try and do the wrong thing and burn itself out. What I mean by that is, this one, for example, is a 270 degree motor, which means it can only turn 270 degrees. If in your code you tell it to turn 570 degrees, it's going to try and turn 570 degrees. And yes, it'll burn itself out. And there are other ways. If you supply it too much voltage, over 6.8, it'll also fry it. And usually, in my limited experience, it's not the motor that goes, it's not the potentiometer that goes, or the gears usually, especially in these metal gear servos. You can see this is some heavy duty stuff. These aren't going to get stripped out by any kind of hobby you're doing. It's almost always the circuit board, the MOSFETs that control the H-bridge to control the motor. And yes, you'll almost always get that distinct smell of something electronic burning when you burn one of these guys out. And as soon as you open it, you should be able to tell. And this one, you can see how it's black right there. And the motor even, well, this side of the motor even, is black. And there again, the board is black right there. So if we look at this board, there's a MOSFET right there, melted. And there's another one on the other side. See if I can get this out without causing even more damage. So you can see there also is another MOSFET that's melted. So I've never done this before, but my soldering skills are getting pretty dang good, and I would guess the rest of the board is fine. These MOSFETs probably are 50 cents each if you buy them in bulk, so I'm going to take a shot and pop one off, get the model number off of it, order a bunch of them, and see if I can solder two onto this board and make this servo work again. Because let's face it, they are, $40, $50, depending on where you buy them, and if you pay for shipping and all that. So if it'll cost me $2 to see if I can fix it, and I successfully fix it, wonderful. If not, well, keep it around for parts, because you can always repair other servos, because I promise you this motor is fine, and most likely the potentiometer deep in there is fine as well. So not a total waste, but let's see if I can fix it, because that'll be awesome. Alright, I'll let y'all know if I'm successful or not. Okay, so it's safe to say, at least in this case, yes, I can repair it, but only if I can find this whole board somewhere as parts. Because in this particular case, I think it just suffered too much damage too long, and you can see not only did the MOSFET blow itself to shit and melted and such, it also damaged its mother circuit board pretty badly too, because there's no longer any pad. Look at this, was a solder pad. So the board itself is just trashed because there was too much heat too long. And here's the other MOSFET. I didn't even put heat on this one, and it just started to crumble on me. So yes, the circuit board itself in my case is damaged, can't be fixed. But I would imagine, in this case, I think it was a case of me giving it too much voltage. So I've seen MOSFETs that just have a little blister on them and are not even black around the circuit board. So in those cases, I'm sure that you can just unsolder the MOSFET, pop it off, pop a new one on, and you're good to go. But in any kind of damage like this, yeah, it's not savable. Now the only hope is that, yes, if I can find this board for $10 online somewhere as a replacement part, great. It's 3 wires here and 2 wires to the motor to solder, and my $40 server is back in business. Otherwise, if these boards are not available, then yep, this is really nothing but a DC motor and a potentiometer and some metal gears I'll probably have no other use for. So fingers crossed I can find this online. But yeah, I'm still going to anyone that burns out on me, open them up to see how damaged they are. If they're this damaged, okay, might not be worth it. But yeah, look at that whole copper trace just peeled right up. If it's just a blistered MOSFET, I'm gonna repair my own from now on.